Hi and welcome to Strength Universe. In today's video I will be taking a brief look at the history of arm wrestling and its place in strongman over the past few decades. Origins of arm wrestling can be traced back to Japan sometime in the mid-1700s. It is widely considered that the US Navy, who docked the shores of Japan in 1853, brought arm wrestling back to the US with them as a niche sport. It wasn't until the 1950s that a young journalist from Petaluma, California named Bill Sobranis saw the potential of the sport. Bill, who had a good imagination and natural flair for promoting, started what was then called the wrist wrestling contest at Gallardi's Saloon in 1952. A decade after its first introduction, Bill joined forces with Dave Devoto. Soon the tournaments were hosted on even bigger platforms and auditoriums of Petaluma, renaming the event as the World Wrist Wrestling Championship because of its immense publicity and public demand. The championship began to be televised on ABC's Worldwide Sports after Dave Devoto signed a contract with the broadcaster in 1969. In 1977, the World Arm Sport Federation, or WAF, was founded, which is now recognised as the global governing body for professional arm wrestling. ABC continued to broadcast arm wrestling until 1984, when the sport would make its debut in the final of the World's Strongest Man.
Again, we've got another event to go, and anything else can go wrong. It could go wrong for me, but I hope, not really, it will go wrong for him.
So stand by for some real excitement with the arm wrestling. A man-to-man battle of the giants. And the ref there double-checking their positions.
Are you pushing my fingers, right?
I must see one.
Jeff not happy with the way the referee was adjusting the grip there, but the rules are very strict.
Wait for the go. Yeah. Both of you. Right. Take the strain. Go!
Seems good for Jeff. But just look at that power, and Jeff's hurt.
The match resulted in a muscle tear to Jeff Cape's forearm. John Paul Sigmarsson forfeited the final to Daniel Pauling, claiming that he'd injured his pectoral, although at this stage he'd already won the title, so it could have been tactics. The next time arm wrestling was seen at the World's Strongest Man was in 1995, which was the debut of the European arm wrestling champion Magnus Samuelsson. This was not the first time that an arm wrestler had competed at World's Strongest Man. This honour goes to Cleve Dean, who appeared at the 1979 and 1980 World's Strongest Man. At 6'7" and up to 210 kilograms, Cleve would go on to win 15 world arm wrestling titles.
Ready, 1, 2, go!
Back at the 1995 World's Strongest Man, 6'6" Magnus Samuelsson would be facing off against 6'10" Australian Nathan Jones in the second round of the arm wrestling event.
You can see the difference in their size. Magnus almost a skinny young kid next to Nathan Jones. Oh my goodness! Nathan is down. The doctor's very quick to attend.
Magnus, what happened? I've probably broken his arm. I feel terrible that I have injured him.
I remember hearing the break in my arm. Then I felt all this pain. The doctor said it was a spiral fracture.
While it's relatively rare to break bones in arm wrestling, if there is to be a break, it's most commonly a fracture of the radius or a spiral break of the humerus. Arm wrestling hasn't made a return to the World's Strongest Man since 1995 due to the risk it poses for the athletes. It's now common knowledge that arm wrestling is a very technical sport and perhaps isn't the best measure of someone's overall strength. Arm wrestling has seen an increase in popularity over the past few years, predominantly due to social media giving us access to stars of the sport such as Devon Larrett. The popularity of arm wrestling increased more recently through YouTube influencers such as Juji, who began to participate in arm wrestling in August 2018, allowing his 1 million plus subscribers to follow his journey as he started to learn the sport. Over the following weeks, Juji Tom did collaborations with Jeff Dabbs, Devon Larrett, Schoolboy and Brian Shaw. In February 2019, Juji Tom took a trip to Iceland to start training and arm wrestling with Larry Wheels and Hatfield Bjornsson. The visit from Juji seemed to spark Larry Wheels' interest in arm wrestling, who made his own video a couple of months later titled "I arm wrestled 5 of the biggest guys in the gym," which went viral, achieving 129 million views. I believe that the popularity of these YouTube videos were the catalyst for Giants Live to get Eddie Hall to arm wrestle Vitalis Lalas at the 2019 Europe's Strongest Man. So with this recent explosion in the popularity of arm wrestling over the past couple of years, do you think this leaves the door open for arm wrestling to perhaps make a return to the World's Strongest Man stage? Please let me know your opinion by leaving a comment below. If you enjoyed today's video, please support my channel by clicking like and subscribing. Thank you.